Honor now offers a wide variety of gadgets to choose from. While most of you may know them from their popular smartphones, they also have laptops, tablets, and other wearables. Today, we're going to be looking at their newest tablet, the HONOR Pad X8a. The HONOR Pad X8a is the most affordable tablet in Honor's lineup, starting at just 7,999 pesos. So, there's no doubt it's very budget friendly. And for those of you who are in the market for a tablet but don't want to spend too much, who knows? This might be it. But since this is the most affordable tablet in Honor's lineup, it's not perfect. I mean, in fact, it's far from it. But what are its strong points and weak points? Well, I'm Jose from Yugatech, and let's find out in this review of the HONOR Pad X8a. In terms of the design and styling, there's nothing about the HONOR Pad X8a that stands out too much. It adopts the minimalist design you typically find on most tablets today. As I said earlier, it has a very minimalist back panel with just the Honor logo front and center. And of course, you get the camera island on the upper right corner. Don't be deceived by the design of the camera island though. This tablet only has a single rear camera, despite it being larger than usual. And despite the low price, the back panel is made out of metal, well, specifically aluminum, giving it a premium look and feel. And because of this, the back panel is quite smudge resistant too. It also helps that our unit is in this sleek matte gray colorway, which looks really great. And just like the back panel, the frame of the HONOR Pad X8a is also made out of metal, which adds to the premium look and feel. As with most tablets, you'll find the volume rocker and the power button on the right side or at the top, depending on the orientation, along with a USB-C port. It also comes with 4 speakers. Again, there's nothing much going on. So as you can see, it's a simple, easy to use tablet, no curved screens here or whatnot. Now, our review unit did come with a simple cover. And it's a separate unit which is not included in the box of the HONOR Pad X8a itself. It's easy to install, allowing you to turn it into a stand, which makes it a bit more convenient if you're watching videos. Just like this. Now, even with the cover, it's still quite slim and easy to fit within your bag. Without the cover, the HONOR Pad X8a only measures 7.25mm thick. It's not the lightest tablet though, weighing around 495 pounds. Now, interestingly, the HONOR Pad X8a doesn't seem to have the feature that automatically turns off the screen when you flip the cover over, as you can see here. Instead, you still have to press the power button to turn it off. Alternatively, you can also wait for the screen to turn off automatically, but that will depend on your settings. Now, speaking of the screen, the HONOR Pad X8a features a large 11-inch display. Given its price point, I wasn't surprised to find out it comes with a regular TFT LCD panel instead of an OLED or AMOLED unit. The resolution isn't that high either, at only 1920 by 1200 or roughly 1080p. From my experience, it's not that bad though when it comes to the colors. If you're used to watching movies or videos on OLED displays, you will definitely notice that the colors aren't that vivid, nor are the blacks that deep. And when you're watching videos on YouTube, do note that you will be limited to just 1080p max, even though the video is 4K. There's also the issue with viewing angles. If you move away from the center, as I do here, you'll immediately notice reflections of light, and the color changes immediately, along with the lighting. But the tablet is going to be in front of you most of the time. This won't be that big of an issue. However, the problem is when you plan to use this outdoors. The display isn't that bright, with a maximum peak brightness of only 400 nits. Now, this does make it hard to use outside, especially if it's really bright and sunny. Preferably, you'll want to use it under the shade or like in a cafe. If you check out some of the B-rolls that's on here, you'll already notice the brightness also changing or dropping off specifically when you change the viewing angle. Now, despite this tablet only having a 90Hz refresh rate, the animation in the menu and when you're watching videos are quite smooth as well. You can even adjust the refresh rate to keep it at a constant 90Hz or change it to dynamic to balance battery life and display smoothness. For gaming, it's more than decent, but we'll reserve that topic for later. Now, one thing that I really liked about the HONOR Pad X8a are the speakers. It comes with 4 speakers which are very loud. They're not tuned by any brand, at least based on the spec sheets, but they sound nice. There's some form of bass and the vocals are quite clear. However, if you bump up the volume beyond 90 to 95%, you'll notice that the quality drops a little bit. But still, overall, I like the speakers of this thing. And in general, the display of the HONOR Pad X8a is more than decent for what it is, and especially at its price point. Now, let's move on to the cameras of the HONOR Pad X8a. And you all know my stance, or at least our stance, when taking photos using tablets like these. Now, let me tell you straight up, you won't be able to take any amazing photos using the HONOR Pad X8a since it only comes with a 5 megapixel rear camera. While it does have the AI camera on the island, it doesn't really help. And honestly, you're better off using your cell phone, whatever cell phone it is. For selfies, you do have a 5 megapixel front camera, and it's a similar output to what I said about the rear camera. It is decent enough for conference calls though, like when you're on Zoom or Google Meets. Now, at best, the camera on this tablet are meant for taking photos or documents. It also works if you plan on using this for business to take photos of Gcash, Maya, or other online transactions that you might need. But beyond that, I will definitely recommend just using your phone because it'll definitely take better photos than this tablet. Aside from photos, it can also record video up to 1080p at 30 FPS. And just like the photos, the quality isn't great. Even when the lighting conditions are decent, there's a lot of grain, and you'll notice the same about the quality of footage and colors. As with all HONOR units, the HONOR Pad X8a runs on macOS 8.0. which is based on Android 14. The OS isn't that smooth and there is some noticeable lag when you open up some apps. However, I suspect that might have something to do with the chipset rather than the OS itself. Now, there are no special features here. You get the usual split screen, floating windows and the like, making it great for multitasking. But aside from those, it's the usual stuff you'll find on macOS 8.0. In terms of bloatware, there's not a lot to, which is great. You only get Netflix, Facebook, Booking.com, and TikTok once you boot it up on top of the usual HONOR apps. There's also WPS Office pre-installed, which is nice for those of you who will be using this for productivity purposes or, anything you want to do, write, sketch, everything else. Moving on to under the hood of the HONOR Pad X8a. It packs a Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 4G chipset with only 4GB of RAM. Yes, you only have 4, but there is an option to virtually extend it by an additional 4GB for a total of 8. Our review unit also comes with 128GB of internal storage. Now, there's no way to sugarcoat it, but you don't get a lot of performance with the Snapdragon 680 chipset paired with the HONOR X8a. Even when you're just going through different apps, you'll notice the long load times and even the lag when you open apps for the first time. Now, while you can leave apps running in the background, you will eventually be forced to close them to have a better experience of just even going through the menu. In terms of gaming, it's not ideal either, or not even the best to game on this. To give you an idea, it can't install the more graphic-intensive titles such as Zenless Zone Zero. While it can run Genshin Impact, I had to set all of the graphic settings to the lowest in order to have at least a decent gaming experience. Now, I was able to set the FPS to 60, but then the frame rate drop started happening once again, especially when there's a lot more going on in the game. What I did notice is that the HONOR Pad X8a did not heat up even when I was playing games. Even after playing for 30 minutes, the temperatures were still constant. Now, I know it's easy to bash this tablet for being weak, but I do have to commend it for even playing Genshin Impact at 60 FPS despite the price point of just 7,999 pesos. Remember, this isn't a high-end tablet. So set your expectations. On Antutu, it scored under 300,000, which isn't exactly the best. And as for the rest of the benchmark scores, you can check it out right here. The battery on the HONOR Pad X8a is rated at 8,300 mAh, which is quite big, and I expected it to last quite a long time. Interestingly though, that wasn't the case as shown in the benchmark test. Using PCMark's Work 3.0 battery test, the HONOR Pad X8a lasted only 11 hours and 45 minutes, which is a decent score. But considering the battery size, I expected it to be better. And for reference, the test was done with Wi-Fi off, airplane mode, 0 volume, and 50% brightness. But lasting almost 12 hours is still not a bad score. And as we always say, battery life is dependent on the user at the end of the day. Now, if you do need to recharge the battery in this thing, do note that there is no fast charging. HONOR did not mention the charging speeds of the Pad X8a, but from our experience, it's not that fast and it takes like almost 2 hours to fully charge the battery. from around 15 to 20%. Overall, the HONOR Pad X8a is a bit lackluster as compared to other tablets I've tried this year. However, the biggest ace it has up its sleeve is this price point. Starting at 7,999 pesos, it's easily one of the most affordable tablets on the market today. This tablet isn't for gaming, nor will you have an amazing viewing experience watching shows on Netflix or YouTube. But if you just want a very affordable tablet for simple productivity purposes, you can't go wrong with the Pad X8a. It's great for your business or for your loved ones. You just need a tablet to give them. On the market, the HONOR Pad X8a does face some competition against the likes of that of the Redmi Pad SE, but let's leave that for another video. So far though, what do you think of the HONOR Pad X8a? Would you buy it if you're in the market for an affordable tablet, or would you choose something else, or even save for a better one? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video or found it informative, do drop a like and subscribe to watch more. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, visit yugatech.com to stay updated with the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Jose, and I'll see you guys next time.